Good morning, everyone. This is the TradingPub.com daily report. We appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. Real quick before we get started, give you a second to read through this risk disclaimer. Again, we're not making any kind of recommendations in trading, just kind of sharing with you some of our thoughts. We're going to take a look at two different markets today. The two markets we're going to focus on is going to be the E-mini S&P from the overnight session, and then we'll also take a look at the euro. So again, we looked at the euro a couple times last week. It's a key market to focus on right now. We told you last week it's got to be on your quote page. You got to be watching the euro, whether you're trading stocks, futures, or options. And again, we'll show you why that was very important to understand. Another thing we'd like to give you today is the TradingPub rule of the day. And the trading rule of the day is don't fight a runaway market. A lot of people want to buy bottoms and sell tops. You can get into a lot of trouble selling some of these runaway markets. We've been hit on it before, and I'm sure you have as well. Look for good entries and set your risk, set your stop, and then stick with your plan. So a lot of times people will look at this thing and say, hey, the market's up 4 days in a row, let's sell it here, and then it rallies again, so let's sell it again here, and it rallies again, and sell it again here, and eventually you end up coughing up the trade at about the high of the move. So again, look for good entries based on numbers and based on what you see in the market. Don't just look at a market and say, hey, it's run up this much, I should sell it. And a good quote to remember is the market can stay irrational much longer than you can stay solvent. So again, extremely important to understand that. The market doesn't need to be at a certain price. It's going to be where it's going to be, and you have to play along with that. It's not going to go exactly where you think. And remember, you don't have to buy the bottom, you don't have to sell the top. You just want to get the good part of the move. So again, TradingPub's rule of the day to remember is don't fight a runaway market, which is what we've been seeing the past couple days with this rally, and it looks like the rally is just continuing to get stronger and stronger. So we're going to look at a couple things right now. The first thing I want to look at, just a daily chart of the S&P. Notice this 1204 area has provided a pretty good resistance overnight. We'll look at that from the Globex session. But here's a look at the daily chart. Notice we've got resistance here at 1216 and then 1220 to 1225. So the big area that I'm really focusing on this up move is 1216 to 1220. I think that's going to be a key area to watch. If we break through that, go up test 1230, 1233, chances are we'll go back to that pivotal 1256 area, which is where the S&P's open the year. So again, 1216 and 1220 are going to be big areas on a swing basis to keep a close eye on. Let's go down to the 30-minute and see what happened in the Globex and in trading so far today. Globex session actually started out a bit negative. You saw selling in the early Asian session, and then it started to reverse once the Nikkei opened. And look at this rally. You had a big rally overnight inside of Europe. 3:30 a.m. Central Time. You got a lot of European news coming out, but saw this rally all the way from 1188 up to 1198. Got above 1200, and this is important to remember. Another good rule to remember. Look here. We tested 1204 once. We came back down to 96.97, came back and tested 1204 again. We came back down off the open, tested that 97 area. And remember, if you think about it, everybody's heard the term double top. And sometimes you hear the term triple top. But you very rarely hear the term quadruple top, or more times than that. And so if you test a certain number, we fail. You test that number again, we fail. The third or fourth time up against that number, a lot of times you'll see that breakthrough, and that's what we saw this morning, or what we're seeing right now, that we came back up to 1204, tested that area, and have broken through. Now we're up around 1206. So again, remember, the big number we're watching to the upside is to see what these S&Ps do when we get up around 1216, 1220 area. So again, that's a look at the S&P. Last week we told you the most important market to watch was the euro. You see the euro here around 137.87. We also told you the key price that we were watching, and you can see these videos on they're posted on our site from last week. We told you this 135 area was the big pivot area to watch. The bulls really needed to get the euro back above 135. And the reason that's important is because everything's keying off of what's going on in Europe right now. If things look good out of Europe, you see the market rally. Things look bad out of Europe, like we saw 2 weeks ago, you see the market decline. So again, extremely important to understand that. So as long as we're above this 135 area, you can use that as a good pivot area to watch. It looks like the next resistance is from this swing high up around the 139.20 area to watch. We're about 120 ticks away from that on the euro. These are the euro futures traded on the CME. So I still think it's important to watch the euro. Still an important market to watch regardless of what you trade, because the overall market is continuing to key off of Europe. So again, good market to watch. Remember, our rule of the day is to not try to fade a runaway market. You don't want to be on the other side of that when you're seeing these volatile moves. Another thing to remember with that, you can consider position sizing. If you feel like it's a good short, start legging into it. You don't have to get in a trade all at once, or vice versa. If you think it's a good buy area, you don't have to get in that trade all at once. You can kind of leg into the trade as it goes along and wait and see what the market does, so that you don't go all in and all of a sudden your timing's bad and you have to get out at the wrong price. So just kind of some words of wisdom, things that we've learned in the market. Wanted to just update you on our next event. It's going to be held tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We have a TradingPub doubleheader that you're welcome to register for by going to TradingPub.com and clicking on Pub Events at the top of the screen. Hope everyone has a good day, and cheers and good trading.